welcome everyone here to Northside Exhibition, Cape Breton Exhibition, and East Coast Pro Wrestling. Thanks for coming out here, folks. First time for ECPW back here at the Northside Exhibition since 2019, and we're really happy to be back. We've got an amazing show for you here tonight. We have Newfoundland Nightmare Justin Newhook is here. We have the Kid Rudy Lockhart. And ECPW champion Lincoln Steen is here. Also want to let everybody know that the merchandise table is set up in the back corner. You can see the two lovely ladies waving to the crowd, so you can get your favorite wrestlers, merchandise, t-shirts, posters, and all kinds of fun stuff right in the back. At intermission, they'll be there to sign autographs as well. Also want to make just a little announcement. We don't have barricades up like we usually do, so just make sure you don't, if you want to stand and cheer, great, but just stay back from the ring. It's for your safety and the safety of the performers as well. With that said, we always kick off every show the way every sporting event does, so I just ask you to please rise if you can, remove your caps for the playing of the national anthem. All right, I think you've heard me ramble enough, so it's time for your first match here this evening. First match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, from Portabasque, Newfoundland, Dawson James.
And welcome everyone to another action-packed episode of East Coast Pro Wrestling. We are here on the grounds of the Northside Exhibition. Tremendous evening for professional wrestling action. Great crowd on hand, and the weather gods have blessed us for a tremendous night of entertainment and great professional wrestling. As coming to the ring to kick us off is Dawson James, a relative newcomer to both the maritime wrestling scene as well as East Coast Pro Wrestling in general. He actually made his debut in ECPW, an Island Invasion, to Andre Mayette. He was defeated, of course, no shame in losing to a competitor of that caliber. Began wrestling on the mainland last year, did Dawson James, and has a little bit of swagger about him and certainly has a point to prove here in front of these fans in North Sydney. Great for the fans of the X to have an opportunity to see some ECPW action.
Hails from Corner Brook, Newfoundland. He is the Newfoundland Nightmare, Justin Newhook.
Justin Newhook making his way to the ring. A veteran, I think we could say, of the squared circle, has been wrestling since 2015, and he's coming off a victory of Thad Howlett he had earlier in his ECPW tenure. As he makes his way to the ring, I think beginning to win the approval of the fans there, as you can hear them give him a round of applause. As I mentioned, Justin Newhook, a veteran of the ring in the squared circle, but a tag team champion in both Ontario and the Maritimes, but really beginning to prove he's a capable solos competitor as well. Was a UCW Atlantic Canadian champion in 2023. And for those of you that could not make the last event, he was actually a winner in his first round match in the King of Cape Breton tournament before falling in the three-ways. He defeated Rudy Lockhart in that opening contest. Said perhaps winning the approval of the fans here. So we get an all Newfoundland encounter. And of course, right next to the ferry we are here on the grounds of the Northside exhibition. People filtering in. Where else would you rather be? In Cape Breton, watching East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers. Again, it should be a great opening contest. Scotty McPherson is the man in charge. He's the capable official who will have all of our bouts tonight. And it should be a great matchup between these two as Scotty calls for the bell. And we get the opening contest underway. As you hear the crowd, as I said, we know where their allegiances lie. As we get ready and collar and elbow tap, and we're off and running here at the Northside exhibition as Dawson James backing into the ropes, forces a break, and perhaps that's a strategy on the part of Dawson James. Maybe a little bit of head games. I don't think he needs a rest. We're just getting started here, but perhaps trying to frustrate Justin Newhook, be the more experienced competitor, although James does consider himself a bit of a throwback, and once again, trying to slow the action down. And it may be working already because Justin Newhook is already telling Scotty McPherson, back him up. He wants to wrestle. He wants to wrestle in front of these fans, but James is, again, kind of slowing things down. Again, James in the black trunks. You can see Newhook in the blue top as James going out to regroup right into the fans. And if you missed it earlier, John Patterson, our esteemed ring announcer, giving the fans the warning. Listen, you could cheer, make all the noise you want. We certainly encourage that, but stay away from the wrestlers for their safety, but more importantly, yours. I don't think you want to get on Dawson James's bad side. But the fans are probably doing that right now. As you can hear the chants of chicken, and that's getting to Dawson James. I mentioned earlier, he was probably trying to get under the ire of Justin Newhook, but right now, perhaps the head games are backfiring a little bit. Takeover as he locks him in the center of the ring. Whipped off the ropes. And Newhook comes back with a powerful shoulder tackle, and you're probably giving up size in a match against Justin Newhook. Off the ropes, step over, hip toss reversal, but that's counter, and another powerful hip toss right in the middle of the ring. Boy, he's going to be feeling that in the back tomorrow. Sidewalk slam. Perhaps our first pinfall attempt of the match. Scotty McPherson's in position in a 2 count. And even those pinfall attempts can wear a wrestler out, just having to kick out. And Justin Newhook was right on top of it, came in with a good cover, had the leg hooked, and now he's going to go to work on the arm. And always a good strategy, try to take away those appendages. And I mentioned Justin Newhook, a veteran of the squared circle. He's been through the ECPW ropes, and he knows his way in the past to success, and he's trying to pick up a victory here on our opening contest. You're again watching East Coast Pro Wrestling for the exhibition in North Sydney on Rogers. Great opening bout we have going on here. Great crowd filtering in. Nice to see this partnership resume. Another pinfall opportunity, and you can hear Justin Newhook asking Scotty McPherson to be a little bit quicker on the cover, but to be fair to Dawson James, I think he was ready to kick out at a moment's notice. However, he finds himself in a bad way there in the corner. Certainly a lot of power behind those kicks, and now a full extension of the kick. And he has the 5 count, he breaks at 3. And I mentioned earlier that Justin Newhook's somebody who maybe didn't always play by the rules, and maybe not playing by the rules right now as well. Getting in a couple of shots. And I think he might have been getting a little bit irritated with the tactics of Dawson James, deciding to take matters into his own hands, but a couple of big overhead rights. Finally countered by Newhook. Duck with another right. Opportunity for a burst DDT. Has him in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, and another 2 count. You have to wonder if Justin Newhook is getting a little bit closer to wearing it down his opponent again. We're still getting to know Dawson James as he made his wrestling debut last year and then made his debut in ECPW earlier this year. Been wrestling on the mainland and in New Brunswick last year. Going to work again on the arm, seeing a lot of that strategy, and really working on the arm and the leg. Boy, you talk about painful maneuver. And look at the positioning as well here, too. Justin Newhook has his opponent right in the middle of the ring, and he takes away the other arm. And in that scenario, the referee, Scotty McPherson, would have to be on top of the action, because if you're taking away both of the wrestler's arms, then he has to submit verbally. So Justin Newhook was certainly aware of that option, but James is going to roll outside the ring for another reset. Count is at 2. Newhook's going to go try to chase the action, it looks like, coming out of the ring. See the pressure starting to wear down on that left arm of James, and both of them going out for a trot. And James seeing if he can reset inside the ring, and nobody home on the elbow drop. You saw both men, too, kind of jotting around the arena. Might be a little bit tough to run outside. Not sure how firm that ground is here at the exhibition. Did a great job, though, setting up the ring. Kudos to all the staff. Very picturesque setting here for this East Coast Pro Wrestling. Oh, and a cheap shot there by Dawson James as he had Newhook obscured from the line of the referee. Now he has him backed into a corner, and perhaps this is the momentum change that Dawson James was looking for. Again, James in the black trunks, and Justin Newhook in the long pants with the blue top. And he's backed into the corner right now, and into the solar plexus there. Kick. Looks like he's going to go up for a suplex, and what an impressive show of strength by Dawson James. Justin Newhook's not a small man. Now pinfall opportunity. I think he only got a 1, and Scotty McPherson was saying that was a 2. And again, he's going to try to wear him down. For James, it might be a good strategy to keep this on the mat as Newhook tries to regain a vertical base. Elbows to the stomach. Looks like the third time might be the charm, and a rake in the eyes. Pinfall attempt, doesn't hook the leg, and a 2 count. James might feel like he's getting closer. I think he's going to have to try to hook the leg, though. Again, he's fighting a top-notch competitor here in Justin Newhook, so not an opponent he could take for granted. But certainly Dawson James is hungry for that first victory in East Coast Pro Wrestling as he backs his opponent up into the corner. Measures him for a heavy chop, and I think they were feeling that three rows into the stands here at the exhibition in North Sydney. See people buzzing around, taking a look at some of the wonderful vendors we have here. A nice night to be out enjoying some wrestling and enjoying the fresh air here in North Sydney. In the shadows of the Newfoundland Ferry is another chop. Of course, both these men hail from the Rock. Oh, reversal and a powerful chop there by Newhook. Ask the fans if they want more, and they do. Another powerful chop as James is going to be feeling that all the way into tomorrow, I'm sure. He's giving him a little message here, telling him what's coming next, and it's a big kick. And James, he knew he wasn't going to be ready for that as he throws him into the ropes. A big clothesline takes him down, and Justin Newhook, can he get himself back in position to cover? Almost took himself out of the action here. Does get his back over, and another 2 count here. Fair to say, Justin Newhook has carried much of the matchup, but hasn't thus far found a way to put away Dawson James, despite throwing a fair bit of his arsenal at him here in the early going. As this is our opening contest, East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers. Happy to bring these pictures and sounds to you. Another thumb to the eye and a bit of a warning there from Scotty McPherson. If that continues, there could be a disqualification here. There's a clothesline, and now all of a sudden Justin Newhook is in a whirl of wood. Dawson James asking the crowd if they want to see him go up, and he doesn't always strike me as the type of guy who's going to give the fans what they want, but he does go up to the second rope. He's got his target measured up, nobody home! And oh, the impact on the leg of Dawson James might have taken his own appendage. A powerful clothesline from Newhook, and another one coming from all directions now. As the opponent measured up, it's guns up, and a big splash into the corner. Big boot, James is down, pinfall attempt, that could be all. 1, a 2, and another kick out at 2. I have to give credit to Dawson James, but nothing but resilient here in this contest. As I said, Justin Newhook throwing a lot of offense at the relative newcomer, Dawson James. But he has been a game competitor thus far and a capable challenge here. Great opening contest here, just the first of many great matches we have for you. Coming to you from the exhibition in North Sydney. Great to be back here out in the outdoors. Perhaps Fireman's Carry takeover. Oh, he drops him on his back. Pinfall attempt, I think that's going to be it. 1, a 2, and a 3. We talked about Dawson James getting acclimatized to East Coast Pro Wrestling. And boy, emotional moment for Justin Newhook. I said he's kind of turning over a new leaf and winning the approval. And boy, has he. Listen to this crowd. They're going wild for Justin Newhook. As I said, though, Dawson James still trying to find his way. And, you know, you might not agree with all the tactics he used in that match, but I think that's a very good accounting for himself against a competitor the caliber of Justin Newhook, and certainly hoping that Sheldon McLean and the rest of the competition community here at ECPW sees a value in bringing Dawson James back for more. And of course, we know Justin Newhook will be back perhaps moving up the ladder towards a championship opportunity with a big victory here. The kids, they're loving him. That's that little girl in the face paint there. Thrilled to get a high five, and even the ring announcer and commissioner, John Patterson, maybe he's trying to curry favor with John, the commissioner, is Justin Newick, but he's happy to be here, happy to pick up a victory here on our opening bout. Making sure no fan gets left behind. Justin Newick having a time here on East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers. He picks up a victory over a game, Dawson James, in our opening contest.
This next match is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from the Canadian wasteland, the maritime juggernaut, Thad Howard.
As you're watching East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers, Thad Howard making his way to the ring. Made his ECPW debut in 2021. He's been wrestling it since 2015 and has picked up some notable victories in his time in East Coast Pro Wrestling, including victories over Andre Mayette and Jonathan Cross. So he's looking to rebound from a loss on the last ECPW event as he makes his way out. Not necessarily a favorite here. I mentioned accomplished wrestler, was a finalist in the New Breed Wrestling Tournament 2023 and has also wrestled at the Loot Academy in Montreal. Of course, a famed wrestling organization where he was victorious in tag team action, but looking to make his name in solo competition here. As his opponent will be making his way to the ring shortly.
His opponent from Antigonish, Nova Scotia, he is old school Andre Mayette.
Now, I mentioned earlier that Thad Howard had success against Andre Mayette, but that was a previous incarnation of Andre Mayette, as he was very vocal about wanting to turn over a new leaf and do things the right way. And you know what? If you were going to look for an example of good guys finishing first, I think Andre Mayette's a good case for that, because this guy, I'll tell you, since he's won the approval of the fans, he's done a lot of winning here in East Coast Pro Wrestling. Is coming off a rare defeat in his last match, but those have been few and far between in his matches in East Coast Pro Wrestling, and the fans love this guy. Of course, a veteran, he's been wrestling since 2008. Held the New Breed title for over a year. Back in 2017 and 2018, he's been a champion in PEI as well over in Red Rock Wrestling. Defeated Dawson James earlier this year in ECPW action, so you know you're going to be in for a fight when you wrestle old school Andre Mayette. As he's looking forward to a tremendous matchup tonight. As I wanted to shout out Shane Wilkie doing a good job getting the pictures there at ringside, getting it right in the middle of the action. Great crowd on hand here at the exhibition in North Sydney. Second match of the evening. Here we're watching East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers. A couple of big men going at it here, a meat match they may call it. Certainly look forward to that. Probably had to reinforce the ring for this one. Andre Mayette knows if he can get the crowd involved, maybe that'll give him a little bit of an edge there. Maybe feel like Thad Howard will be wrestling on the road, so to speak. Handshake. Will Thad Howard accept? No, he decides not to. A less than sportsmanlike gesture, and that gets the exact reaction you'd expect from these fine people in North City. These fine folks here at the exhibition, they appreciate sportsmanship, and, well, they were denied that opportunity just a moment ago. As a duck of a clothesline, I talked about a couple big guys, and you see it right there. Powerful shoulder block, and nobody giving an inch. And I would expect that is going to be a theme to this matchup. And once again, Andre Mayette, no quarter given in the middle of the ring. And he gives him a second opportunity. Hey, why don't you shake my hand, and then we can have a wrestling match? No. Thad Howard says, nope, that's not how we're going to do it. And Scotty McPherson has the call here. Only the best here in East Coast Pro Wrestling. The wrestlers and the officials always doing a great job as tie up along the ropes. As Andre Mayette in the black top with the red tights. As you can see, the gray jeans belonging to Thad Howard. There's a bit of an arm wrestle along the ropes, tug of war, so to speak, and goes to the ground, which I didn't think we'd necessarily see. And rolling outside the ring, opportunity for both men to come out the ring and maybe get a little bit of down and dirty. And again, they've got to be very careful here because they're spilling out into the fans. And all the way into the aisleway now as They might go right over into the horse barn here. Scotty McPherson's going to have to try to keep this in line. We're already getting out of control here in the early part of this great evening of professional wrestling action here in North Sydney. As there is no inch to be given by either man. And I like, too, Scotty McPherson showing a little bit of leniency here with the count. I don't think anybody wants to see a count out. They want to see a winner decided here. Not much to choose from between either of these wrestlers. And look, we're right back where we started. They are locked in place. Right in the middle of the ring. You have to wonder what either guy's going to have to do to earn a pinfall in a match like this. And Andre Mayette perhaps begrudging respect for his opponent. And he's going to offer a third time to get a handshake. It's the third time the charm. That how he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. And he decides not to. Kick to the solar plexus. And now overhead forearm to the neck of old school Andre Mayette. Oh, cross body block. Thought we might see our first pinfall attempt. Axe handle to the throat. Andre Mayette now in control of the match. Looking for a sidewalk slam. Brings him down to the mat. Momentum now in the hands of old school Andre Mayette. And goes to the ropes, off the second rope, splash, pinfall attempt, 1 and a 2, and he kicks out. Now, to me, it looked like Andre Mayette wanted to go off the right side, or at least my right, realized he might have been a little bit too far away, so he decided to switch to the other side, and ended up working out pretty good. He did hit his target, but was only able to get a 2 count. Now he goes back up. Oh, he's going to say second rope. He's going all the way to the top. And you want to talk about old school. Here's some old school from Andre Mayette. That Howard begging away, but that's not going to do anything. It's a powerful chop to the arm. You can talk about taking away the appendages. Oh, the suplex. Could that be enough? 1, a 2, and a 2 count. But thus far, it's Andre Mayette carrying the early part of this matchup in terms of the offense. And he's going to find himself, though, backed into a corner. Scotty McPherson tries to implement the break course. When the wrestlers go to the corners of the ropes, official's job to come in there and break up the action. Or at least give them a fair opportunity to get out. Chop. Overhead forearm there by Thad Howard. And thinking about what his next move is going to be. And oh, he uses all of his weight. Brings it down the leg, coming over the neck there. And we talk about that 5 count. Scotty McPherson right in there to administer that 5 count. But Thad Howard, he took full advantage of that. He knew that every second he was over Andre Mayette, he was wearing him down. As he'll put his foot right into the throat, and again, using full advantage of that 5 count. And of course, Thad Howard not necessarily showing the respect for authority of the officials. He's barking in regards to that before mentioned 5 count. His overhand forearm there by Thad Howard. Oh, a rake to the back. Boy, you want to talk about something you'll feel in the morning. His nails are well, they're longer than mine. I don't know if he's a nail biter, but I can tell you that Andre Mayette's going to be feeling that one. And just like that, the pendulum, so to speak, has decidedly swung in this matchup. Again, this is our second match of the evening. Had a great opener earlier. Enjoying the action is Justin Newhook picking up a victory here earlier. As into the ropes he goes on a clothesline. Down goes Andre Mayette. He's perhaps looking for the support of the fans now to try to get him back into this contest. Pinfall attempt. 1, 2, and a kick out. And you might have been able to hear Andre Mayette saying that was the slowest count. Looked pretty good to me. Keep it up, Scotty. I think you're doing a great job in there. As Andre Mayette coming back with a series of blows. A little bit of a dance as well. That might have been good night there for Howard, but he's thrown into the ropes. Met with a boot. Cross of the legs and a knee. And now it's Mayette in control of the match. Looked like he was trying to go for a neck breaker, couldn't execute. Ends up throwing into the ropes. Throw to the corner, another reversal. Boy, this is well scouted. I mentioned these guys have wrestled each other before, and you know, oh, there's a neck breaker. Oh, talk about impact. Pinfall attempt, 1, 2, oh, and only a 2 count. And now it's Andre Mayette that's questioning the count. But I can tell you, that was just a 2. I mentioned that these guys have wrestled earlier in ECPW action, and obviously there's been a bit of a change in attitude in Andre Mayette, but certainly you can tell the homework and the research has been done. They both know each other's tendencies here, and it's been a tremendous matchup that we've seen thus far. Oh, headbutt misses this time around. Here's an opportunity Suplex into a power slam. Thad Howard pinfall attempt. Hooks both legs. 1, 2, and a 2.5. Boy, there wasn't much margin for error there. And Andre Mayette, I'm not sure if he knows where he is now, as Thad Howard has swung the pendulum back his way to turn a phrase. Now a front face lock here, and Andre Mayette's got a good look at all these fans, but he wishes he was up on a vertical base. You can really wear a man down, take out his energy with a hold like this. And that's exactly what Thad Howard is trying to do. And what a notch on his resume would be if he could pick up a victory over Andre Mayette in front of this great crowd here in North Sydney. Series of elbows, and the third one's the charm. It breaks the hold, but right back into a clothesline, and Andre Mayette finds himself back where he started, down on the mat. Yes. Thad Howard trying to put him in position. What's he going to do? It looks like he might try to go up to the top rope here. He's thinking about it. Oh, used the ropes for momentum. Innovative offense. A splash, a 1 and a 2, and just a 2 count. Boy, I think he's getting a little bit closer there. And as I said, Andre Mayette finding himself in a world of trouble here. A great contest here. He's being pushed to the limit by Thad Howard. What a match these two are putting on for the fans here in North Sydney is Mayette. Boy, he looks dazed in that corner, and I can see why. So taking a bit of a licking here the last minute or so. He's whipped into the post. Now reversal gets out of the way. Opportunity there. Andre Mayette throws his man right into that turnbuckle. And Andre Mayette going up to the top rope, into the turnbuckle. Neckbreaker from the top. He got all of it. Thad Howard's feeling that one. Is that going to be enough to put it away? 1, 2. Oh, a 2.5. Oh, what resilience both of these competitors are showing here. And a tremendous matchup. And it's one of these matchups where you get to this point and you just wonder what it's going to take to pin the other man. And I'm sure the two of them are thinking the same thing as well. Some of the crowd clapping their hands here, appreciating the action. No doubt from both men, but I think we know where their loyalties lie here in North Sydney at the X. Forearms being exchanged. As Andre Mayette swinging back. Center of the ring they go. Big forearm there by Andre Mayette. Another forearm comes back from Thad Howard. Forearms aplenty here. As I said, a test of strength between two big men. Thad Howard being worn down now, and he finds himself seated in the corner, not really where he wants to be. Oh, but he's able to reverse the momentum, and Mayette's feeling that. I think his eyes really made contact with the turnbuckle. Might have impaired his vision, at least temporarily, and Thad Howard in position to take advantage. And oh, talk about putting all your weight into that corner, into the midsection, and now, again, using that count. He knows he doesn't have to back Mayette away right away. Oh, and a running start. And again, into the stomach of Andre Mayette, trying to wear out that midsection. I can tell you, there'll be some bumps and bruises on these guys tomorrow after this hard-hitting encounter. And once again, Thad Howard thinking about going up, and looks like he's going to give the old fist to the head as Mayette sneaks away. Slap to the back. Oh, now Thad Howard's in trouble. If he can execute this. Gonna pull him off the second rope. High red district. Down he goes. Andre Mayette. Can he pull him over though for a pinfall attempt? Has an opportunity. 1, a 2. Oh, and he gets his hand on the ropes. Great ring awareness there by Thad Howard, and that's a situation where you take the man off the top rope. The one thing with that is that unless you relocate your opponent to the middle of the ring, you've got to be wary that he's got that opportunity to reach out to the ropes. And as I said, great ring awareness there. Thad Howard knew where he was, which is not always easy after he gets slammed to the mat like that. Oh, now all of a sudden Scotty McPherson finds himself in trouble. Oh, was that a low blow? I didn't fully see it. Scotty McPherson definitely didn't see it. Oh, right into the neck. As Thad Howard has an opportunity. 1, a 2, and a 3.
Here's your winner, the Marathon Juggernaut, Thad Howard.
So perhaps some less than desirable means, but it is ultimately Thad Howard picking up the victory, bending the rules to his advantage, but that, regardless of the outcome or the questionable means used, that was a tremendous contest. as that out, waving his hands to the crowd who are not happy, although he's got a couple of fans there among the youngsters. And as Andre Mayette makes his way back up, and he's kind of wondering what happened there. I mentioned Andre Mayette's been tremendously successful in East Coast Pro Wrestling, but ultimately comes up short. He's wondering if Thad Howitt perhaps has his number after that exceptional matchup that we have just witnessed. But it is Thad Howitt picking up the victory here as you're watching East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers.
The following match is for the ECPW Heavyweight Championship. Introducing first, from Halifax, Nova Scotia, he is the challenger, the Kid, Rudy Lockhart.
Rudy Lockhart is making an impact, and he's got himself a championship opportunity. Now, you may remember Lincoln Steen earning himself an opportunity at the championship with that Battle Royal he was victorious in back in the spring. Well, that same night, he was defeated in singles action by Rudy Lockhart. So if you're wondering why, the championship committee takes a look at that and says, hey, this young Rudy Lockhart, he's not just an aspiring youngster. The present is now. The future is now when it comes to Rudy Lockhart. He's ready for a championship match, and he's earned it. Began wrestling in 2023. He was in the New Japan Dojo. In his rookie year, he wrestled in 11 different companies and making his debut. And at just 21 years old this year, he is ready. As I said, he's earned himself this championship opportunity.
The ECPW champion.
But he has a tall task ahead of him tonight.
Lincoln Steen.
And if they were to write a book on East Coast Pro Wrestling, this gentleman would be on the front page. Veteran of over 40 matches in ECPW. Two-time champion, also a former Celtic Roots champion. He had that title for over a year, and when he lost it, he rebounded by winning the big belt. He's been a champion in PEI, New Brunswick, and Ontario. And as I mentioned earlier, he won the New Waterford Rumble at the Coaltown Carnage event. That actually allowed him to challenge, and he defeated Charlie Hubley. And Charlie Hubley was sent packing. He's gone from ECPW by virtue of his loss to Lincoln Steen. So you can imagine how popular that is with the fans here. But then native of Saskatchewan has proven himself to be a capable competitor regardless of whether he's playing by the rules or not. As he likes to say, let's hear it for Steen. And I don't know how many people are giving him that respect that he wishes, but you can't argue with what's around his waist. The ECPW Championship. As I mentioned, he was able to send Charlie Hubley away, so Rudy Lockhart has earned himself this title match by virtue of having a win over Lincoln Steen. The ever so polarizing Lincoln Steen, I said not a favorite, but I think just by virtue of having won multiple championships, there are that smattering of fans in the crowd that do like Lincoln Steen, but I dare say it's going to be Rudy Lockhart that's the crowd favorite. Big match in the young career of Rudy Lockhart, and this is one of these situations where you think you'd be surprised if at some point in his career he does not come across championship gold. But will tonight be the night? Certainly hope so. He does, Rudy Lockhart here in North Sydney. But again, has his work cut out for him against the veteran Lincoln Steen. Lincoln Steen in black, Rudy Lockhart in red. This should be a tremendous match. A bit of a contrast in styles, contrast in size, contrast in experience. But will the youthful exuberance of Rudy Lockhart win out over the grizzled veteran Lincoln Steen? And I think you can predict who's going to try to work the faster pace in this matchup. And right now, I don't want to say Lincoln Steen is dictating the pace, as he looks pretty irritated by the crowd. He tries to play to the people with predictable results. Rudy Lockhart, he's going to see what the fans think of him, and as you'd expect, a more favorable reaction. Again, should be a great match here as Steen will go to the up. Maybe I'll have more luck if I go to this corner. No, people over here don't like me either. Lincoln Steen finds out. Rudy Lockhart says, well, they like me in the other corner. Maybe they'll like me in this corner too. Guess what? They do. Again, big matchup. Perhaps this is probably the biggest matchup of Rudy Lockhart's young career, you'd have to say. Wrestling for a championship in front of a packed house here in North Sydney. And Lincoln Steen hearing it from the people. I don't think that reaction's going to change. He's going to have to try to shake it off and see if he can defend the championship here against this talented youngster. And think about being a champion in ECPW. You're going to have to face all comers. You're going to have to face a variety of opponents, different styles, different experience from different locations. And now he's put Rudy Lockhart into the corner. And Scotty McPherson will have to back him up. Scotty McPherson, the capable official, has this championship bout. As Lincoln Steen now going on. I think this is a mistake for Steen. He had backed Lockhart into the corner. Perhaps he could build some momentum. But instead of trying to capitalize on that, he's jawing with the people, and he's giving Lockhart an opportunity to clear his head a little bit. And I'll say this as well about Rudy Lockhart, but talk about the experience difference here. Rudy Lockhart does not look afraid of the moment to me. You think this is a first championship match to be intimidating, but he looks ready to go. Another tie-up, and once again, Lockhart is backed up. And that could be a mistake, though, because I mentioned earlier, Steen is the stronger of the two competitors, and I don't think that's how Rudy Lockhart is going to win this matchup. But again, a lot of that comes down to experience. As talented and as well-deserved as this title opportunity is, Lockhart's still a youngster, so he's still trying to figure this thing out. But as I said, if Lincoln Steen takes him for granted, I think he'd find himself no longer ECPW champion. And again, Steen hearing it from these fans at North Sydney. Great to be back here at the exhibition in North Sydney. First time we've taken the action outside, and boy, you've got some great weather for it here at the X. Everybody's enjoying themselves. What could you like better? Go grab an ice cream, grab pizza, cotton candy, and watch some great wrestling action. Sounds like a pretty good night to me. As Lincoln Steen barking back at the crowd. As Rudy Lockhart, remarkably patient, but perhaps he's going to allow Steen's hubris to work against him. He thinks if the crowd can get into Lincoln Steen's head, maybe he'll have an advantage, and maybe he can walk out of the arena here, or the grounds, I should say, as the ECPW champion. Action in the middle of the ring here at the Northside exhibition. In the dead of August, we are. This has Rudy Lockhart and Lincoln Steen. Again, ECPW championship on the line. Very much up for grabs here. First title defense this go around for Lincoln Steen, although as I mentioned before, he is a multi-time ECPW champion. And we're gonna get another lockup in the ring. We'll see what Rudy Lockhart's strategy is this go around. See if he can try to reverse the momentum of what he's had thus far. As again, the strength advantage goes to Steen, and once again, he's going to back Lockhart into a corner. But look at this, Rudy Lockhart worming his way up and reversing the pressure, and perhaps he's going to be able to bring Steen down. He's got him down to one knee. Very crafty move there by the young, clever Rudy Lockhart. But twist of the arm has reversed things in a hurry. Lincoln Steen going to work on his younger opponent. Fans telling you what they think of Lincoln Steen, and that's not much, but you can't argue he's the ECPW champion. Lockhart regains vertical base. Now he twists the left arm of Steen down, and Steen finds himself down to one knee. Crowd likes that. It's Rudy Lockhart has the action in the middle of the ring, which is, of course, where it needs to be. Remember that he needs a pinfall or submission over Lincoln Steen in order to win the ECPW championship. Counter or disqualification won't do any good. And speaking of disqualification, Lincoln Steen was risking that by giving a thumb to the eye. And Scotty McPherson will show some leniency. I don't know if he caught that. Mind you, Lincoln Steen strikes me as the champion that might not mind if he was disqualified and was able to keep the belt. And he has his opponent now where he wants him, in the middle of the ring in a headlock. As Lincoln Steen in control of the matchup. As headlock reverse, Lockhart with it. In the middle of the ring, Rudy Lockhart wants to be ECPW champion. He's got that opportunity tonight. And you hear Lincoln Steen not afraid of pulling the hair, and Scotty McPherson giving him a warning here. And now these two men arguing from their respective quarters. And McPherson's going to tell them, hey, enough of the talk here. The fans want to see a championship match. Let's get this back underway and get the action going in the ring. Restart of sorts. And a nice duck there by Lockhart. Has a firm grip there of Lincoln Steen in the middle of the ring, but again, giving up the size is Rudy Lockhart, and once again, Steen goes back to the arm. That's what he knows, to attack the appendages there of Rudy Lockhart. Going to work on that left arm. Once again, this is an ECPW Heavyweight Championship match. As into the corner goes Lockhart. Whipped again, a shoulder tackle, and Lincoln Steen goes out of the ring. And Lincoln Steen feeling the effects. And he's going to go for a walk to see if he can restart his momentum. I mentioned it was back in June that Lincoln Steen captured the championship, making his first defense of the title tonight. Steen holding his back and seeing if he can restart again. I'll remind you that if this were to end in a countout, that would not be enough for Rudy Lockhart to win the title, but again, referee Scotty McPherson will show some leniency there, I would think, given the stakes of this matchup. And Rudy Lockhart, of course, would know that he has to bring the attack to Steen as well. Fans calling out Steen, noticing he doesn't seem to be in a hurry to get back into the ring. Lockhart strutting around as he wonders, is tonight the night I make myself famous and become ECPW champion? Steen thinks about it and decides to get back in the ring. Never in a hurry is Lincoln Steen. And once again, Steen more concerned with the audience, it seems, than his opponent. Probably not a good idea when you got a capable challenger like Lockhart on the other side. Again, Lockhart in red and Lincoln Steen in the blue and black tights. Lincoln Steen the champion, Rudy Lockhart the challenger. And Lincoln Steen, a veteran. It's pretty much been wrestling since Rudy Lockhart was born, in fact, Lincoln Steen. Square up in the middle of the ring. Back to where we began, so to speak. Oh, I don't know if that was a kick or a knee, but Steen again using the size advantage to grind Rudy Lockhart into the corner. And again, he's going to take full advantage of that 5 count. And boy, Lockhart finding himself in a bad way. As Steen's got him in the middle of the ring. Might go for that stalling vertical suplex we've seen Lincoln Steen do in past matches. I think that's exactly what we're going to see. He's got him up and up. How long will he go? He likes to hold him up there for as long as he can. Lincoln Steen parading around the ring, showing off. As he's got him up middle of the ring. Lincoln Steen still holding Rudy Lockhart. All the blood rushing. And folks, I can confirm that was 20 seconds that Lincoln Steen had Rudy Lockhart up. Try to imagine being upside down for 20 seconds. No, he wasn't riding the zipper across the way. He was in a vertical suplex, a lot less fun. Pinfall attempt, and it's a 2 count for Lincoln Steen. Of course, we are on the grounds of the exhibition here in North Sydney. Lincoln Steen perhaps surprised he wasn't able to earn a 3 count, given that he had Rudy Lockhart up for that period of time. And again, putting all of his weight onto the back of Lockhart. And now, once again, wearing down the back. Scotty McPherson in good position there because Lockhart can't really do a physical tap, but McPherson's in position to hear if there's a verbal surrender. But as of right now, Rudy Lockhart is not willing to give up this opportunity, and you got to understand why. ECPW championship matches, they don't just give those away. You know, if you lose this match, sure, he's a young competitor, but it could be a long time before he finds himself in the title picture again. You got to go right back to the bottom of the line. as the hole broke up and Lockhart going to the ropes, but he finds himself back where he started in the middle of the ring. And in fact, this time, Steen pulled him a little bit further away. So that's where you see the veteran instincts of Lincoln Steen. He realized Lockhart was a bit close to the ropes, so hey, I'll pull him a little bit further away. He's going to have to work even harder. Get him to the center of the ring, put him the maximum distance away from the ropes, and make it as hard as possible to break the hold. As Rudy Lockhart finds himself in trouble here as we get into the deep waters of this match. I mentioned this big moment in the young career of Lockhart, but he's being worn down by the more experienced ECPW champion. The fans chanting Rudy, trying to rally Lockhart back into this. But front face lock here right in the middle of the ring, and the fans can only watch as the man they wish to be the next ECPW champion finds himself in trouble here. Get Scotty McPherson right there in case there's a surrender. He's also going to keep his eye to make sure Lockhart remains conscious. Of course, he can choke the air out of somebody, and if he goes night-night, then you'll hear the bell ring, and it'll be a successful title defense for Lincoln Steen. But as of now, Rudy Lockhart trying to battle his way back, going on his instincts there, and oh, nobody home for Lincoln Steen. Boots come up for Lockhart. And Steen backed into a corner. As Steen meets a foot of Rudy Lockhart. The youngster Lockhart now may have momentum on his side. Another boot into the face of Steen. Duck and a cover. Lockhart now with a big forearm and a big chop. Steen feeling the effects of that. Another big chop. Lockhart has his man backed up. Reversal. Lockhart thrown into the corner. As duck of a clothesline. Oh, big clothesline there for Lockhart. Oh, and he takes out the legs. Into the knee it goes. Rudy Lockhart has exploded here in the exhibition. Wait a minute. That's Thad Howitt coming to the ring. What is he doing here? Scotty McPherson trying to keep control here. Is Howitt providing a distraction on the outside. Wait a minute. Lincoln Steen has grabbed his championship belt. Lockhart doesn't see. Oh, no. Steen with the championship belt. Blasting Rudy Lockhart, and Lincoln Steen is aghast. As that is going to send an end to this matchup. That's a disqualification. Lockhart's going to get his hand raised, but however, that's not going to mean a title change here as Newhook comes in. He's got a chair and equalizer. And he arrives there before there can be too much damage. Oh, wait a minute. He may have busted Rudy Lockhart open. Can't get a good look at his forehead. Well, it looks like he'll be okay, but whether he's bleeding or not, Rudy Lockhart is ready. He wants to fight. He's calling for the microphone. He's got it. Let's see what he has to say.
You give these people a blue senior they want and get in there and fight us!
Rudy Lockhart's all fired up.
How about this? How about for the main event tonight? It's me and Rudy Lockhart versus Lincoln Steen and Thad Howitt.
Oh, I love to see that! I would love to see that matchup. But I don't know if Thad and Lincoln wants that. The fans want it.
Hey, John, you want to make this official?
Let's see what the commissioner has to say.
In order to be a champion, you need to be a fighting champion. Main event tonight, Justin Newhook, Rudy Lockhart, in a tag match against Thad Howitt and the ECPW champion, Lincoln Steen.
Whoa, how about that? You heard it from the commissioner. It's official. I can't wait to see that matchup. Lincoln Steen, Thad Howitt, they don't want anything to do with Justin Newhook and Rudy Lockhart, but these fans want to see it. And they're going to get to see that matchup down the line. And you will get to see that next time when we return. We thank you for watching East Coast Pro Wrestling on Rogers.